Imagine spending the night with a best friend of 12 years. You fall asleep and wake up to them violating your body and your trust. This is the true story of Alison Hughes in the book Missoula by John Crocker. Rape, a horrific word with profound consequences. Hello, my name is Bridget Maston, and today, as a youth activist seeking the Ontario Police Services Board support, I will be touching on acquaintance rape. I'll be asking the question, are our police doing their full jobs regardless of the circumstances? For the next few minutes, I'll be exploring sources such as Crocker's Missoula and Deborah Turkheimer's Incredible Women, Sexual Violence, and the Credibility Discount article to fight for a vital but overlooked issue in our society, acquaintance rape and how it is handled within the police system. It's frequently reported that authoritative figures we put on stand to achieve justice are seen neglecting investigation practices when it comes to sexual assault over other cases. Our police have been seen failing to fulfill their duty of conducting fair and thorough investigations, more so when it comes to acquaintance rape, where the victim personally knows their perpetrator. Today, I will suggest to the Ontario Police and Services Board that the first step to achieving justice is to get a new system put in place that enforces the police to a checkbox list regarding acquaintance rape, go the extra mile in their training, and fulfill their job to the best of their ability, making sure that every possible effort is made to collect victim evidence, regardless of bias. According to the Ontario Code of Conduct for Police Officers, Section 19 states, "A police officer shall not, by act or omission, fail to perform their duties appropriately without lawful excuse if, at the time, they know or reasonably ought to know that their act or omission would amount to a failure to perform their duties appropriately." Although it states that police must fulfill their duties, bias observed in the police force surrounding cases where the victim knows their perpetrator have been documented for many years. Studies show that non-stranger rape cases are less likely to be taken seriously by the police, leading to inefficient investigations, lesser charges, and less convictions as a result, according to the article by Rebecca Campbell. The question then becomes, where do we draw the line when it comes to the police simply not wanting to pursue a case? And when do we as a society hold the justice system accountable for laziness and empty excuses? This question applies to cases like the one that Turkheimer recounts in her article. On page 54, she states, Detective Cord strongly discouraged sexual violence survivor Heather Marlowe from pursuing her case, indicating that it was too much work for the San Francisco Police Department to investigate and prosecute a rape case where alcohol was involved, and that Marlowe, when getting a rape kit done to collect evidence against her assailant, was told that due to the passage of time, her case was considered inactive and was placed in a storage facility. The police department also told Marlowe that because she was a woman, weighs less than a man, and has her menstruations, that Marlowe should not have been out partying on the day of the incident, and the police then dismissed her valuable evidence. Not only does this play into harmful stereotypes impacting women, but also the victim's mindset, feeling blamed and discouraged, leading future survivors to feel hesitant to report rape cases. My solution to address this ignorance is to directly add a subsection to the Ontario Police Code of Conduct reserved specifically for acquaintance rape cases. This subsection would clearly define standards regarding acquaintance rape to ensure that their cases receive the same amount of rigor as other sexual assault cases would. This is no act of dramatism. According to Missoula by John Crocker, on page 349, rape and war are the most common cases of post-traumatic stress disorder in survivors of sexual assault. This stresses the urgency of how acquaintance rape, though thought to be much more unbelievable, has the same mental impacts of those fighting on the battleground. By establishing a new subsection in Section 19, Section 19, Subsection 1 of the Code of Conduct for Police will rebuild the trust in our justice system that has eroded away over the years to create a level of justice achieved in the first steps of reporting an acquaintance rape case and ensure that cases with strong enough evidence will prevail through stereotypes and bias. It will include mandatory training for police officers to assess victim interviews in an unbiased way regarding using appropriate language in cases, speaking to sexual assault expert testimonies, and learning the many different psychological barriers that survivors can acquire when experiencing rape or reporting a rape by someone that they know. While experiencing this training, there will also be a checklist included to ensure every possibility of a strong case is exhausted, such as collecting and evaluating any evidence. 80% of these reported cases are by a perpetrator that the victim personally knows, and 90% of these rapists run free, as talked about in Missoula. This is a statistic that we can and must change with the help of these new and improved procedural methods. Overall, these new and explicit guidelines of the Police Code of Conduct is not just a procedure. It can transform the lives of rape victims who are afraid to be unbelieved and build public confidence in the justice system. This solution ensures that cases are handled fairly, without any predetermined bias, and allows officers to hold the tools they need to make an accurate assessment of a case. The goal is to emphasize to all Ontarians that justice is available for everyone, regardless of previous relationships, if you know your perpetrator, or if you're afraid to speak up. By protecting survivors and helping them feel ensured, valued, and believed, we can improve our policing services and hold our justice system accountable. Thank you.